Hey YouTube geeks, welcome back. Today we're looking at the SOG Terminus XR. This is the OD green G10 version. Has the D2 steel. This is more of the budget-friendly Terminus XR. I was on the fence on getting this one, but I just had to do it, and I'm gonna go ahead and let you know I'm glad I did. I've got some pros and I got some cons, but first let's go over the boring stuff and let you know what this night's all about. Okay, so you get the flipper, you have the XR locking mechanism, which is close to the Benchmade, and then you have the thumb stud. So you've got three ways of opening this and pretty much closing it. You always got to have that locking mechanism pushed down when you close it. So you can see the lock there, kind of get a good view on how that works. Real simple. Got the grooves on the inside. Now you got your jimping on the bottom, which actually is pretty sharp, and then you got the jimping, a lot of jimping on the back there for good leverage on the knife, which is great. A lot of budget knives don't have quite that much jimping on there. There's your clip there. It is ambi, so you can use it lefties or righties. So let's go over the quick specs, the boring stuff. Okay, so overall length 7 inches, blade length 3 inches, cutting edge is 2.75 inches, blade width is 1 inch, blade thickness 0.11 inches. Like I said before, the blade material is D2, blade style drop point. It is a hollow satin blade, edge type plain. The handle length is 4 inches, handle width 0.875 inches, handle thickness is 0.45 inches. It is a OD green G10 handle. The frame liner is stainless steel. The weight is 3.32 ounces. That's actually pretty light for a good everyday carry. User ambi, pocket clip, tip up, knife type manual. Opener, flipper, thumb stud. Like I said before, you can also use that XR locking mechanism and kind of flick it up. Works real well. But that's basically it on the specs. So let's do some knife comparisons. Oh, I want to point out real quick on this clip here. It is ambi, which is nice, but it's really too flashy for me. They really wanted to stand out with their clips. It is a deep pocket clip. I'm not digging that big SOG, SOG on that clip. It's too flashy for me. So I'm just throwing that out there real quick. Okay, so blade comparisons. This is the Ontario Rat 2. This actually has the D2 steel, and it's OD green as well. Of course, you can two different shades of OD green there. You notice the jimping is a lot different on both these knives. The thumb studs are actually pretty similar. The blade length is similar. But overall, I mean, the Rat 2 is just a little bit of a smaller everyday carry knife. And obviously, they both have different locking mechanisms. It's got the liner lock on that guy there. Okay, so here's a pair of 3. One of my favorite everyday carries. You know, blade length, it's about the same. Obviously, totally two different, steels. Jimping is pretty close. Obviously, the pair of 3s, in my opinion, it's got the better jimping. It's more grippier, better leverage, in my opinion. Everybody's a little different. So the G10, they're both G10 scales there, and you can tell that the pair of 3 has got the better G10. It's a lot more grippier, and obviously the locking style's a lot different. Let's compare it to a Sharpie. Everybody knows the size of a Sharpie, right? So you can say it's a smaller everyday carry. It's not the smallest, but it's not humongous. It's not like a Rat 1 or by Ontario or anything like that. All right, let's do some cutting. Cardboard. This blade actually came very sharp out of the box, and I've done a lot of cutting with this in the past couple weeks. and no issues whatsoever cutting that cardboard. It's like butter. What else do I have here? Let's try a little feathering. I've done actually quite a bit of feathering with this knife already, and it's really surprises me how well this knife cuts, and it holds its edge a lot better than you would think for a budget knife. I mean, this knife goes for $50, $55, depending where you go to get it, online or your local knife shop or wherever. So I know at Blade HQ you can get it for $55. So no problems there. Let's go ahead and wipe the blade off. I got something. What else do I have? Oh, I got this right here. 2 liter of pop. We'll go ahead and cut that with ease. No issues. Again, like I said, this blade has surprised me quite a bit on how sharp and how well it holds its edge. I haven't sharpened it once since I've had it, and I don't need to probably sharpen it here for a while. So I think that's all there is to this knife. I mean, at first when I got this knife, it really surprised me on how well it cuts. I definitely think it cuts better than the Rat 2. I think it doesn't obviously cut better. I don't think it's a Pair 3, but for a budget knife, it's pretty good. Now, I did have to break this knife in a little bit when I first got it. I threw a little bit of lube in there, and just to get it kind of working the way I want it to, with the lock and everything, to get it smooth. So you definitely got to keep that in mind. This knife you're gonna have to break in. It didn't take too long, maybe a day or two, but it's gonna be rough on your fingers at first with that flipper. That flipper comes very sharp, the chipping on it. Yeah, you have to get used to it. Me now, I think I actually built up a little callus because of it. So here's a little close up on the blade. The looks of it, I love the looks of this knife. Really and truly, it's I think the reason why I wanted to get it. Obviously the clip is just too flashy for me, but I guess it's not a deal breaker. It fits well in the pockets, a deep carry. So I think the important pro on this is, once I broke it in, the functionality of it is top notch for a budget knife for the price point. I mean, I probably would expect this knife to be a little bit more than what it is. $55. I think that's a good deal. I think this one is definitely worth picking up. Yeah, I would definitely recommend this to a friend or anybody who's looking for a budget everyday carry knife. Okay, you guys know what to do. Comment, like, subscribe. If you guys have any questions about this knife, or actually let me know if there's, again, another type of clip I can get for this, throw it down in the comments. I appreciate you guys watching. You guys know what to do. Bye.